Good afternoon, everybody. It's your friend Sheep Ludes. How are you doing this afternoon? I took a day off to accept it. It happened. Look, I was going to make a whole video talking about the market, NBA 2K23, my team, but honestly, I don't care. I straight up don't care. Excuse my cat who's going to sit next to me for the remainder of this video and either A, scream, B, knock things over, C, do this weird thing where she goes which she does all the time. I don't really know what that's all about, or D, all of the above. That's Katana, though. She's a queen, so it's fine. Look, let's look forward, gaze upon the crystal ball, and see what we can expect from my team this week, besides disappointment and just the utter will to play something else. It's just painful. Before we get into it and start predicting, let's just talk quickly about the Titan cards, I guess from a market perspective. Markelle Fultz is discard value, so he's 3,000 MT, and he's a pretty good small point guard. If he had come out a couple months ago, I would say maybe he'd be worth picking up, but at this stage, man, I mean, people are running Ben Simmons, so it's hard to suggest Markelle Fultz, but for offline purposes, he's actually a really fun card to use. Hassan Whiteside, I would say he's actually one of the better budget centers in the game because he can at least stretch the floor a little bit. You can give him limitless range and guard up and stuff. His release is not great, for sure. I mean, for sure. He's got some decent dribble sigs. You can't really move like that, but he's actually pretty okay. If you're on an extreme budget, I would say him and Mo Bamba are top tier for budget centers, And honestly, to a certain extent, Mirasan too, because he's just broken, but I don't know, man. He's okay, I guess. Xavier McDaniel is about the most mid possible combo forward that you could possibly ask for. Once again, these are just the bottom three cards would have been so good. Even as recent as a month and a half ago, they would have been so fire. They would have been top tier budget cards, but it's just we've gotten so many, which isn't a bad thing necessarily, but just to kind of explain, he's okay. Josh Jackson, this is going to be shocking to a lot of people, I know. Prepare yourselves. Maybe put the children away so they don't have to hear this. Josh Jackson sucks. So bad. That jump shot is atrocious, man. I'm sorry. Some people like it. You know what? Everything in this world is subjective, okay? I personally think it sucks. He's got a good player build, but, it's Josh Jackson. If he had LaMelo base, I actually think he'd be one of the best budget cards in the game. And he's not completely terrible, but you know what? He's 2,800 MT or less. Literally just pick him up and judge for yourself. Who knows? You might like it. Probably not, but who knows? Bruce Bowen, for those of you who are rocking an extreme budget squad, Bruce Bowen's fantastic. He is actually really good. Horrible dribble sigs, which is to be expected. Honestly, I wish his defensive tendencies were better too. Bruce Bowen should have better defensive tendencies. That's just me though. I actually really like his release. I think it's really good. I mean, I used Bruce Bowen quite a bit at the beginning of the year. He's a perfect 3-and-D shooting guard. If you're not going to be creating with your shooting guard at all and you're just wanting a 3-and-D cone that's just going to shoot threes, play defense, occasionally cut to the basket, Bruce Bowen's your man, especially for an extreme budget. Michael Redd. I have to say I'm excited to see Michael Redd back in the mix, although the choice of rocking the red Milwaukee jersey is kind of confusing just because, it's you have 3 red jerseys right in a row right here. It's whatever. Oh, wait, they switched. Gerald Wallace, whatever, it doesn't matter. Ignore what I was saying. Michael Redd would have been exciting once again, just a month and a half ago. I would have been stoked to see this card. He's got the same release as Malik Sealy. He's basically a worse defensive, I would say even slightly better offensive Malik Sealy clone. And he's actually a really fun card to use. He is. He's not the greatest card in the world, but very, very solid. And if he had just come out last season, even towards the end of last season, I think there would have been a lot more hype on Michael Redd because he would have been a top tier shooting guard, I think, for the opal and below category. But just a little too late. But I mean, for 7K though, he's fun. He's a very fun card to use. Jalen Rose, for his price, is probably one of the better point guards, if not outright the best point guard. The confusing thing about Jalen Rose, though, is he's got like only gold defensive badges, but then he has like the best defensive tendencies in the game. It's extremely confusing. I really don't understand why they do that. Like, the defensive tendencies are fantastic, right? Great, great defensive tendencies. They're awesome, like, right? But it's like he has only gold defensive badges, not even like Hoff clamps or anything. It's just weird. Now that being said, if we're looking at like the 6-8 point guard like category, we're looking at guys like Bonga. We're looking at like Luke Walton, Joe Ingles. Who's another one? Josh Giddey. Even like Sean Livingston. I feel like Jalen Rose is like the best out of those guys. Also, look at Jalen Rose. Like, the thing I've always loved about Jalen Rose is no matter what age Jalen Rose was, he looked like an old man. Like, Jalen Rose at like 22 looked like he was like 35. Jalen Rose in this picture, he looks like he's like 42 playing like men's league at the YMCA. And I really respect that about him. He's good. You should pick him up. I mean, if there's any card that I can specifically recommend from this set to pick up, it would be Jalen Rose for sure. 100%. Gerald Wallace I haven't picked out quite yet. I'm going to, because Gerald Wallace is the homie, man. Like, he's obnoxiously ripped for no reason. He's got flame tattoos. These are all things I enjoy and would like in my sports players. The jump shot, Jalen Noel base, not so bad. I mean, everyone liked it on Justin Jackson, so it's not really shocking that it's good. He's got elite defensive tendencies. He's just altogether really good. For anybody on an extreme budget, you know, like what I talked about with Bruce Bowen? It's to an even bigger degree with Gerald Wallace, but he can actually move a little bit and create on his own. He's fun. He's probably someone I'll pick up and just run for, like, fun, basically. Luol Deng is way more expensive than Gerald Wallace, and if I'm being honest, I don't see it. Like, I don't see the reason why Luol Deng is so much more MT than, like, Gerald Wallace, or even Michael Redd for that. I mean, he's 6'9", 7 foot wingspan. He's bigger. The D-Mitch base is good. He's got Curry escape, but I just don't really understand the kind of large increase in price. I don't think Luol Deng's worth his price in any way, shape, or form, if I'm being honest. I just kind of feel like there's other guys that you could pick up that do the same thing for cheaper. Tyson Chandler, once again, man, it's just like a month and a half too late. I'm over it. Yao Ming, too expensive. Ben Simmons, too expensive, but not quite as expensive as you would expect, right? Dirk Nowitzki, actually reasonably priced in comparison, like all things considered. Hero Ben Simmons, God, so expensive. Hero Yao Ming, so expensive. Shocker. Let's look forward. Okay, tomorrow. I don't know. I believe we'll probably get some type of Evo update. I would guess. Now, who that's going to be, I want to say Harden. Like, I do want to say Harden. He did just have 42 in the dub, so I would assume he probably gets one. That being said, when it comes to star level players or like big names like that, it's hard to ever see them doing outright Evos, because the last Evo we got was straight up trash. But I did have a theory that they were doing that so they can continue to give him Evos if he performed, but who knows. Other than that, I think we'll probably get some Saturday guys in the mix too. Like, I don't think LeBron James is going to get an Evo, personally. I just don't. Like, I don't feel like anybody really performed all that well in these games. I just, like, D'Lo, maybe. Like, maybe D'Angelo Russell gets one. Has he gotten one yet? Yeah, he's gotten one. So it's possible maybe he gets another one. Wait, did he get one? May 3rd was the last time, so Wednesday was the last Evo update, right? I think. Oh, that's just the last one on 2KDB. I actually don't know when the last actual Evo update is. When did Booker come out? I'll be honest, I have been so plugged out of this game over the past like few days. Like, I just like don't care. I have been so out of it, man. Like, I just don't know. Damn, he got 50 Hoffs. Yeah, so we could see something like that. Maybe they already did Evos for these guys, but I don't think they did. If they did, I'm sorry. This video is pointless at that point. But yeah, don't know. Tuesday. This is the Chet lock-in. So the Chet lock-in finally comes out on Tuesday. We get our final heroic packs of the season. As far as who's in them, I don't know. I'm still kind of leaning towards Scottie Pippen. I just feel like that makes sense. But now that they kind of burned their kind of top revenue guys in Ben Simmons and Yao, I'm actually curious who they're going to do for Friday packs. So kind of looking at this exact time last season, so May 7th, right? We got the Supernova set, which was the first Invincible. So I think that's what's going to happen again, but I'll talk about that in a second. So I'm going to lean towards Scottie Pippen. I think Scottie Pippen makes a lot of sense as far as the heroic guy, but it could realistically be anyone. Manu was not someone I would have guessed, you know? So we could also see it be someone who's like not really that hyped because since they're just there for the Chet lock-in. So we could see someone like a Jason Kidd or like who else? Possibly even like maybe LaMelo or like Richard Jefferson or something. Like I don't know, man. Just kind of looking at who came out around this time last year. Carmelo Anthony is always up there as well. Like that's always a very distinct possibility. Derrick Rose is up there also. I feel like we got one not too long ago, but maybe I'm wrong about that. So honestly, I don't know who it could be. Even Joe Johnson or somebody of that nature, you know, someone of that caliber, it could realistically be. Pascal Siakam's not a bad choice either, honestly. Like, or Bobby Jones. These are all guys that could be in the set. I don't know. I just know Chet's not going to be obviously as expensive as Manute Bol, who's like 15 million MT to actually lock in for, which is absurd, but he's still going to be a few million. And look, if you got it like that, regardless how good his like stats or badges are, you're just better off going to buy regular Bol. Like you're gonna get, which didn't realize regular Bol was a million MT still. That's crazy, but you're still probably just better off doing that anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Wednesday we're not going to see anything, literally nothing except more Evos, I think, but who knows. The Evos have been very sparse, so I don't know when they're actually going to do them. I'm going to make a prediction, and I don't know if it's going to happen, but I feel like they're kind of burning these things out really quickly. Like, why would anyone even do these? What is the reward for these? Unauctionable cards? I can't even sell them. I just want to take a moment to say that these are straight up dog shit. Like, these challenges, trash. It'd be one thing if these were auctionable cards, so they would lower the price of all the playoff cards also. I think that would kind of be a big thing for the mode, and that would help a lot of people. But of course they're not. They're unauctionable because you can't grind for anything in this game. They're trying to limit everybody from making MT to an almost criminal degree. Fucking annoying. Anyways, dude. So, I mean, we're probably not going to get any moments of the month or anything like that. My bold decree for Wednesdays, I think they're going to, I don't know if it's necessarily going to be Wednesday, but I think they're going to announce like actual prizes for the end of these like second round series. Like I'm wondering if maybe we get like a guaranteed player or something. I think I'm just being like optimistic. I really just think it's going to be another deluxe playoff pack with absolutely nothing in it. I don't know, man. I'm trying to be optimistic, but it's hard because I'm playing 2K, which is a game you can't be optimistic towards because it will rip your heart out at every single opportunity. So it's good stuff. Thursday, nothing. Do the Vault players change again for the rest of the year? I feel like they don't. Available until May 19th. That's the new season, so that's cool. All right, now let's talk Friday, right? So, because we got Dirk to a much lesser degree, but we got Ben Simmons and we got Yao Ming out of the way. There's no more Friday heroes available either, so we're not going to do any more Friday heroes. So that's kind of important too. So there's nothing that we're working towards. They kind of ended it at a weird time, but I know why they did it. We're going to get our first Invincible card or whatever they call them this year. Now, I don't know what the name is going to be. Like, I don't know if they're going to go with Invincible cards. I don't know what they're going to do. We could even get an end game this week, but I think we're going to see our first step up of tiers come this Friday. So whether that be Invincible, whether they go straight into end game, I'm not sure. The question really comes to who is it going to be? Like, who is going to be the first domino to fall in this situation. And I'm pretty sure I know exactly who it is. It's going to be T-Mac. There's no possible way that it's not Tracy McGrady, right? If they're on their one-upping arc, or their one-upsmanship arc, they're going to try to one-up the set that they just dropped. So I'm having a sneaking suspicion that it's probably going to be whatever it is, like Invincible, GOAT, Endgame, Tracy McGrady. That is what I think. Or they're going to go Kobe with it. It's one of the two. I think it's pretty likely that it's one of these two guys, though. It's either Kobe or it's T-Mac, I think. Kobe sells more packs, but T-Mac is the more revolutionary player. So, like, people... When I say revolutionary, I mean in the 2K sense. Obviously not in real life, though. I am #1 T-Mac stan. Everybody knows this. So that's kind of my guess as far as the rest of the set, because they're just going to have the one. So it's just going to be the one Invincible card, and then there's going to be a bunch of like random Dark Matters and stuff that are probably more of like a troll variety. They could go with LeBron too, but I think they'll hold off on that. That's my personal opinion. Same with Giannis. Like, I feel like those two guys are going to save them. We could potentially see maybe like a fan favorite set, but I think it's more likely going to be like a random name like this, and it'll be the first like Invincible or Invincible style card. Let's see, who else? Like, what other random... kind of looking... Sorry, I had to pet my cat for a second. She was giving me them sad eyes. Yeah. Alright. We got Luka. I mean, we've gotten pretty much everyone, so I'm wondering, like, what would be the actual set. And honestly, I have no way. I'm going to say Bill Walton, because we haven't seen a Bill Walton in a while. Ben Wallace. I think Ben Wallace is due for a new card, for sure, certainly. Zion's due for a new card, so we could see Zion being one of the Dark Matters. That makes a whole lot of sense. I don't think Chris Webber's in the game this year. Do we have Vlade Divac? Okay, Vlade Divac's coming through. Yeah, whatever. Could see like a return of like Nedelicki or Dolph Shays at some point, but I don't know. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. As always, it's been your friend Cheap Ludes. Have a good night, you guys. Have a better night than my cat was having just now, and peace out.